Have you ever walked out of your neighborhood small format express store, looked at the single half-empty plastic bag in your hand, and wondered how a few basic groceries just cost you $40? You assume it is just inflation, or maybe you accidentally picked up an organic brand, so you shrug it off and keep going back. But that nagging feeling in your gut is completely right. You are not crazy, and you are definitely not just imagining things. Millions of Americans are walking into these downscaled, urban neighborhood versions of their favorite major retail chains every single week, completely oblivious to the fact that they are stepping into a perfectly engineered financial trap. By the time we finish this investigation, you will find out how major retail corporations are quietly pulling off a massive pricing bait-and-switch right under your nose. I will show you the hidden data from consumer advocacy groups that proves exactly how much extra cash you are bleeding every single year just for choosing convenience over a megastore. We will examine the corporate playbooks that explain how these companies deliberately manipulate shelf space to force you into buying premium items by systematically erasing budget options from existence. Most importantly, near the very end of our journey, I will reveal a shocking register glitch uncovered by consumer protection watchdogs that means you are likely being overcharged at checkout without ever realizing it. To understand how we became targets in our own neighborhoods, we have to look at the anatomy of modern retail engineering. Think of a standard big box supermarket like a massive cargo ship. It moves slowly, but because of its sheer volume, it can carry goods at the lowest possible cost per square foot. When a major corporation decides to launch a smaller, bite-sized express version of that store in a busy city center or a quiet suburb, they are changing the entire mechanics of the business. Suddenly, they are paying premium downtown rent for a space the size of a garage while trying to extract the exact same massive corporate profit margins they get from a sprawling suburban supercenter, instead of being honest about this reality. The industry relies on a psychological illusion. They put the exact same bright, friendly logo over the door that you see off the highway. They dress the employees in the same uniforms. They give you the exact same loyalty card to scan at checkout. This trick plays on your brain's natural desire for familiarity. Your subconscious mind registers the corporate branding and tells you that a jug of milk or a box of cereal here must cost the same as it does at the giant warehouse location 5 miles away. It is the retail equivalent of a luxury car dealership charging you $20 for a cup of water just because it is served in a branded mug. And we fall for it because we trust the name on the wall to maximize the cash generated by every single square inch of these smaller shelves. Corporations completely restructure what is available for you to buy. A standard supermarket is designed to balance low-margin essentials like fresh vegetables and flour with high-margin luxury items like premium cookies and sodas. In the small-format express model, that balance is completely thrown out the window. The floor plan is aggressively optimized to pack in heavily processed, highly addictive junk foods because those items carry the highest financial markup. It is an intentional strategy to crowd out raw, healthy ingredients in favor of corporate profit. This operational shift creates a hidden tax on your daily survival. When space is limited, the very first things that get kicked off the shelves are the generic, budget-friendly essentials that struggling families rely on to get through the month. The retail giants do not want you buying a 90-cent can of basic store-brand tomatoes when they can force you to buy a $3 branded jar because it is the only option left on the shelf. You are not choosing to live a luxury lifestyle. The corporation has simply made poverty options invisible before you even walk through the sliding glass doors. Let us pull back the curtain on exactly who is bleeding your wallet dry, starting with the smaller neighborhood market concepts run by the world's biggest retailer, Walmart. For decades, Walmart has built its entire global identity around the promise of always low prices, making you believe that their yellow spark logo is a universal shield against getting ripped off. But when they shrink their massive supercenters down into local neighborhood markets, that budget shield shatters completely. Independent data from consumer research groups reveals that shopping at these smaller format neighborhood locations can quietly cost an average household hundreds of dollars more per year compared to driving out to a traditional Walmart supercenter for the exact same basket of goods. When you look at individual items, the pricing disparities are absolutely stunning. A simple grocery staple like store-brand sweet potatoes or basic bags of apples can carry a markup of up to 35% or more at the smaller neighborhood location compared to the supercenter just a few miles down the road. It is the exact same packaging, harvested from the exact same corporate supply chain, yet you are charged a massive premium simply because of the zip code where the store was built. Consumer advocate reviews on platform sites like Trustpilot point out that shoppers frequently notice their regular weekly essentials jump in price overnight without a single word of warning from store management. It is a brilliant silent cash grab that turns your need for a quick local trip into a corporate cash cow, proving that the giant corporate machine is more than happy to tax your lack of time. Walmart justifies this by pointing to higher real estate costs in urban areas, but the reality is they are counting on you being too tired to drive the extra 5 miles to the big store, if you think that is frustrating. Let us move up the ladder to Target and their aggressively expanding small-format urban stores. Target has carefully cultivated an image of chic, affordable styling, making consumers feel like they are getting a boutique experience without the boutique price tag. But walk into one of their compact city locations in places like Boston, New York, or Chicago, and you are stepping into a playground of hyper-optimized margin gouging. The Minnesota-based retail giant has been rapidly expanding these small format shops, opening dozens of them to capture younger carless city dwellers. According to pricing audits conducted by independent retail analysts, these small Target locations routinely strip away the budget-friendly, entry-level up-and-up store brand essentials from their shelves entirely. If you need a basic jar of marinara sauce, the 90-cent generic option is completely missing, forcing you to reach for a premium branded jar costing $3 or $4 instead. The corporate strategy here is cynical but highly effective. When shelf space is tight, the thinnest margin budget goods are the very first to get thrown in the trash, leaving you stranded with premium alternatives. A characteristic consumer complaint on retail forums notes that doing a full week's top-up shopping at an urban compact Target feels like paying Whole Foods prices for standard household items. The final verdict on these trendy little city shops is simple. It is a wolf in stylish red and white sheep's clothing. Designed to make you pay a premium for basic survival under the guise of an upscale neighborhood vibe. If you already feel like checking your own pantry shelves right now to see how much cash you are wasting, you need to hit that subscribe button immediately, because the corporate strategies get even harsher from here. Let us talk about Kroger, the massive supermarket conglomerate that controls local chains from coast to coast under names like Ralph's, Smith's, and King Soopers. In their smaller, high-footfall urban convenience extensions, Kroger relies heavily on a standard industry practice known as FIFO, or first-in, first-out inventory rotation. Because these smaller urban stores suffer from limited backroom storage, they receive constant, tiny shipments throughout the week rather than massive weekly truckloads. This chaotic delivery schedule makes proper shelf management incredibly difficult for overworked staff, creating a serious trap for fresh grocery shoppers. Thousands of consumer reviews across platforms like Mumsnet and Money-Saving Expert detail a frustratingly consistent pattern. Shoppers pick up fresh chicken, milk, or packaged salad from the front of the shelf, only to realize when they get home that the use-by date is literally that exact same afternoon or the following morning, with absolutely no discount applied at the register. The system is designed to push the oldest, most decaying inventory directly into your cart first. One shopper shared that finding short-dated meat at their local small-format Kroger chain had become an almost weekly financial hazard, forcing them to throw away expensive ingredients before they could even cook them. It turns every quick dinner run into a high-stakes game of corporate roulette where your kitchen trash can pays the ultimate price. This brings us to the ultimate titan of mainstream retail deception, the CVS and Walgreens corner store duopoly. These two chains have spent the last half-century convincing the American public that they are health hubs, community pillars, and the ultimate neighborhood sanctuaries for the sick and the busy. You trust them because they hold your prescriptions, but their grocery aisles are an absolute financial slaughterhouse. Because people tend to use these stores for quick, casual top-up trips throughout the week, the mind registers each visit as a minor expense, $10 here, $15 there. But when you aggregate that data over 12 months, the reality is devastating. The national nonprofit group Clean Label Project, alongside retail pricing trackers, has repeatedly highlighted that buying everyday pantry staples at a pharmacy chain carries a massive baseline markup that can easily drain an extra $800 a year from an average family's budget compared to buying those identical items at a traditional supermarket. Worse yet is the psychological manipulation of their digital loyalty programs like CVS CarePass or Walgreens My Walgreens. They scream about savings from yellow tags on every shelf. But investigations by groups like the Clean Label Project and independent consumer advocates have challenged whether these loyalty prices are actually saving you cash or just bringing you down to an already elevated corporate baseline. In fact, a major pricing accuracy investigation carried out by state weights and measures regulators uncovered a shocking reality in small-format convenience chains. The error rate between the price displayed on the shelf and the price charged at the register was as high as 14.4%, with over 60% of those mistakes resulting in the customer being silently overcharged at the till. It is an invisible tax applied precisely when you are too distracted to notice, making these trusted neighborhood pharmacies the most expensive places in America to buy a simple box of cereal. And now, what it was worth watching all the way through for: the transition from the corporate traps to the real, reliable alternatives that will actually protect your hard-earned money. If you are tired of getting blindsided at the register by downscaled neighborhood express stores, the good news is that you do not have to give up convenience entirely. You just have to change where you look. We have tracked down the actual high-integrity consumer options available right on American shelves that prove you can get quality, honesty, and true value without sacrificing your budget or your sanity. The first major recommendation to save your wallet is Aldi. Originally a small European concept that has completely revolutionized the American grocery landscape, Aldi operates on a philosophy that is the exact opposite of the corporate express trap. Instead of filling small stores with high-margin junk to squeeze revenue per square foot, Aldi keeps their footprint small to cut operational overhead and passes those direct savings entirely to you. Over 90% of what they stock consists of their exclusive private label brands, which means they completely bypass the artificial markup of big-name corporate manufacturing. In practice, the sensory experience of switching to Aldi is a revelation. Their Simply Nature organic line and specially selected premium products do not just match the quality of major supermarket national brands. In blind taste tests and independent laboratory evaluations, they frequently beat them. The texture of their pasta, the richness of their organic tomato sauces, and the freshness of their produce feel exactly like what you would buy at a high-end specialty market, but without the financial hangover. From a price perspective, the math is incredibly clean. A standard weekly basket of essentials at Aldi routinely tells you runs 30 to 40% cheaper than the identical grocery list at a traditional supermarket or a small-format neighborhood express store. The cost per use or serving is so low that switching your top-up shopping here can save an average household over $1,200 a year. The only real downside is that their selection is intentionally curated. You will not find 50 different brands of the same item, and you need to bring your own quarter to unlock a shopping cart. But that minor friction is an incredibly small price to pay for absolute pricing transparency if you want a mainstream option with national availability and an unshakable commitment to honest bulk pricing. The absolute gold standard remains Costco and their legendary private label, Kirkland Signature. Costco operates on an explicit corporate charter that caps their maximum retail markup at just 14 to 15%, whereas traditional pharmacies and express stores routinely mark up items by 40 or 50%. The history of Kirkland Signature is built on a radical idea: partner with top-tier premium manufacturers to package the absolute best products in the world under one simple house label. When you buy Kirkland Signature olive oil, organic peanut butter, or household staples, you are often getting the exact same elite ingredients that go into luxury, name-brand bottles, but sold in bulk sizes that crush the competition on unit pricing. The physical reality of using Kirkland products is a masterclass in value. The sheets of paper towels are thicker, the olive oil is certified authentic by independent laboratories, and the quality never wavers from batch to batch. When you convert a Costco bulk purchase down to the cost per serving, the savings are undeniable. A single jar of peanut butter or a container of spices bought here can cost up to 50% less per ounce than the exact same volume split across multiple frantic trips to a local CVS or urban Target. Naturally, the downside is clear. You need a paid annual membership to walk through the door, you need enough storage space at home to handle bulk sizes, and their massive warehouses are rarely located on a tight city corner. But for anyone looking to build a bulletproof fortress around their family food budget, it is an unbeatable foundational asset. For those urban shoppers who do not have a car, cannot travel to a massive warehouse, and are trapped in city centers where small format stores rule the streets, the ultimate premium alternative is Trader Joe's. While it has a quirky neighborhood boutique vibe, Trader Joe's is a masterclass in efficient retail design. Just like Aldi, they rely almost exclusively on their own private label, buying directly from suppliers in massive quantities to secure the lowest possible cost. They do not charge suppliers slotting fees to sit on their shelves, which means their prices are completely insulated from corporate marketing games. The sensory experience of Trader Joe's is famously addictive. Their frozen meals, unique seasoning blends, and fresh organic produce are celebrated by real consumers for having vibrant flavors and clean ingredient profiles that completely outshine the heavily processed, high-margin junk food that fills the shelves of corporate express extensions. When you analyze their pricing structure, Trader Joe's accomplishes something incredible. Their everyday low prices on staples like organic milk, cage-free eggs, bananas, and avocados are frequently lower than the non-member sale prices at major supermarket chains, let alone the inflated baselines of neighborhood pharmacies. They do not use confusing loyalty cards, digital coupons, or artificial gimmicks. The price on the sign is the exact price everyone pays at checkout. The downside is that their stores are famously packed during peak hours, and they do not offer a delivery service or a traditional online ordering system. But their steadfast refusal to exploit their neighborhood footprint makes them a true sanctuary for the conscious local shopper. If you want to protect your paycheck from these neighborhood retail traps without spending your entire weekend driving around the suburbs, you need to turn your phone and your eyes into defensive weapons. Here are 7 concrete rules you should memorize before your next grocery run. First, ignore the eye-level shelves entirely. Corporations charge food brands a premium slotting fee to sit exactly at your eye line, so force yourself to look at the very top or bottom shelves where the low-margin budget essentials are hidden. Second, ignore the flashy sale price on the front of the tag and train your eyes to read the tiny numbers in the upper corner of the sticker that list the actual cost per ounce or unit. That is the only way to spot when a smaller, non-sale box is secretly cheaper than a giant promotional package. Third, whenever you buy dairy, meat, or packaged bread from a small format neighborhood store, aggressively reach your hand all the way to the back of the refrigerator rack, because employee rotation schedules are chaotic. The freshest inventory with the longest shelf life is pushed behind the short-dated items that expire in 24 hours. Fourth, when using ultra-fast delivery apps like Whoosh or local store-to-door options, always cross-reference the base item cost against the retailer's standard website before hitting checkout. Delivery fees are frequently just the tip of the iceberg, masking a massive baseline markup on every single item in your digital cart. Fifth, double-check your receipt against the shelf tags before leaving the store floor, with point-of-sale scanner error rates hitting over 14% in neighborhood convenience formats. Catching a single register error can instantly save you $5 to $10. Sixth, look out for green-light private label certifications like the Clean Label Project Seal or the Costco Kirkland Signature Stamp, which guarantee that an independent third party has validated the product's purity and strict pricing caps. Seventh, treat any store that lacks clear upfront unit pricing on its shelves as an immediate red flag and take your business somewhere that does not require a calculator just to find out if you are being scammed. When you look at the entire landscape of modern consumer retail, the underlying truth is that the industry is no longer built around simply supplying communities with food. It has been transformed into a hyper-optimized financial game where corporations weaponize your lack of time, your physical location, and your psychological trust against your bank account. The single biggest shift in thinking you need to make right now is to stop viewing your local neighborhood extension store as a friendly community helper and start viewing it as a premium convenience luxury. Every single time you walk through those sliding glass doors, you are paying a heavy premium for speed, and once you recognize that mechanic, you can consciously choose when that convenience is truly worth the extra cost. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us today to dig up the truth behind these retail strategies. If you have a friend or an older family member who does all of their daily shopping at a local neighborhood grocery extension or uses rapid delivery apps without realizing how much cash they are losing, please share this video with them right now because they deserve to know exactly what they are paying for. I want to hear directly from you down in the comments section. Which of these small format grocery stores or pharmacy aisles is sitting right in your neighborhood, and have you noticed these sneakily inflated receipts yourself? If you want to keep arming yourself with hard data and expose corporate secrets, make sure to hit that subscribe button immediately because we have a massive investigative review of popular household cleaning supplies dropping on this channel very soon. Until next time, keep your eyes wide open, stay incredibly curious, and protect your hard-earned plate.